Hello. Today we're going to talk about initiatives and referendums specifically to the state of Arizona. Initiatives and referendums are two of the three ways that the Arizona Constitution allows for amendments to be made, and the only ways that have been used in Arizona thus far. An initiative is a way that citizens, private citizens, can make changes to the state's constitution on their own. That means they can add, modify, remove language without legislative member input. It is proposed by voters through a petition process. A referendum is proposed by the legislature by a majority vote in each house. It is the most commonly used method for altering the Arizona Constitution. Now let's talk about how these are created. An initiative is created by any registered voter. They need to obtain a form from the Secretary of State of Arizona to draft the proposal. They then submit it to the Secretary of State, and once the Secretary of State deems it proper, it is circulated among registered voters. The petition must obtain signatures equal to at least 15% of the number of voters in the preceding election, with a maximum length of time of 20 months to do so. If it is determined by the Secretary of State that there are sufficient signatures, the proposed amendment is placed on the ballot for the next general election. The process for a referendum is drafted by the legislature, and it must be approved by both the House and the Senate. Once approved by the legislature, it is placed on the ballot for the next general election. Rarely, though, legislature could call for a special election. This does not happen very often. So the next step is ratification. It is approved by the majority vote of the people. It's put into law. So let's talk about the similarities and differences of both of these. The differences are the initiatives are drafted by citizens, while the referendums are drafted by legislature. Initiatives can contain only one subject so as to not confuse the citizens, whereas referendums can include more than one item in a bill. The similarities are that the citizens participate directly in the legislative process with both of these. Once approved, these items are placed on a ballot for the next general election, and they cannot be vetoed by the governor. How does this support the idea of direct democracy? It gives the citizens more power. Citizens have final say on whether the proposal is passed or not. The citizens can propose and enact laws that reflect societal needs and wants without legislative red tape. And it engages voters with politics. Now the pros and cons of both. The pros for the initiatives is it gives the citizens a way to counter lobbyists. It compels the government to be more cognizant of the concerns of the citizens. Proponents maintain that the critics underestimate the common sense of the citizens, and you'll see the counter of that when we talk about the referendums. Also, the pros for the initiative is it allows the voters to approve or reject laws. The cons of the initiative is that the majority of the initiatives die during the petition circulation phase. They just don't get enough signatures. Critics maintain that ordinary citizens do not possess the expertise to make sound laws. They are likely to have technical flaws. There is a steep signature requirement. Also, the money needed to finance ad campaigns can be prohibitive. In addition, non-Arizona citizens can exploit the process to advance their national agenda. Pros and cons of referendums. The pros are they are drafted by politicians who understand the political language. It allows voters to approve or reject laws. And the cons are that it could be influenced by special interest groups. That is a talk about initiatives and referendums in a nutshell, as specifically as used in Arizona. Thank you for listening.